Hi, I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
And we are
To Rope Drop and Beyond.
And this is our series, Let's Talk About Disney.
Today we are doing Rope Dropping 201. So a little bit more hints than 101.
And we are going to start with the Magic Kingdom. We're going to just do one park per video so that it's clear what we're talking about.
Okay, so let's go off to the Magic Kingdom.
The first step is going to be, as always, to stay at a Disney resort. That is our biggest tip because you get early entry, and you really, especially at the Magic Kingdom, there's a lot that you can't do if you don't have early entry.
That's right. And the resort that you choose is important too. We found that either one of the monorail resorts is great, or interestingly enough, the All-Stars is great because their buses come really fast. They come early.
They do. We've always had really good luck at all the parks with All-Star buses. We stayed at Wilderness Lodge, and that one's right by the Magic Kingdom, but the bus didn't get us there as early as the All-Star buses did.
Yep.
So
we still got there good though. We
Yeah.
were still second in line.
if you're on the first bus from any resort, you're going to be in a good position.
Right.
So don't worry about too much what resort you are in, but if you want just that little bit of extra, those are the resorts we recommend.
So the first thing you do once you hop off the bus is you go through security. And we have some tips of getting through security fast and not getting flagged.
At Disney World, if you go through security, they don't stop and search your bags like they do at Disneyland. But if you have anything metal on you, you have to hold it out in front of you, or they will flag you and pull you off to the side.
So those are things like umbrellas get flagged a lot. Things like GoPros sometimes get flagged. My husband's phone case, his glasses case got flagged. I guess it has some metal. It was a hard shell glass case. His metal money clip got flagged. So anything that is metal, just walk through like this. Just hold it out.
Another tip is to have one person in your group that just doesn't have anything with them, that they can just walk straight through security. Give all of your stuff to everybody else and have that one person, then they can go through and be the first in line at the tap styles.
Right. So when you're going to the tap styles, if you're on the bus, you're going to come in, let's say the entrance is here, you'll come in this way. If you're on the monorail, you'll come in this way. So usually you'll want to come to the side where you're coming in because you can get there faster. One time we went there and the monorail hadn't arrived yet though, so we went over to the monorail side and that was faster. So it just keep your eyes open and just scan which lines are not very long and just go straight there.
If you can, you want to try to be on one side or the other, like furthest, because you go through the tunnels and everyone has to funnel through those. So if you're closer to the tunnels, it just gives you a little bit of an edge as well.
Right. So once you've gone through the tunnels, of course you'll want to speed walk through the tunnels and down Main Street. And then you have to make your decision. Well, make your decision in advance.
Know where you're going.
Know where you're going for sure. But here are some of our recommendations. And this is if you have early entry. Our recommendation is if you're one of the first people at the tap styles and can get through first, you have a good chance of getting on Seven Dwarfs, Mine Train, or Tron. If you're farther back, don't rope drop Seven Dwarfs Mine Train because you'll end up in a really long line.
You'll just end up waiting as long as you would in the middle of the day, even though you think that you're there early.
So if you're a little farther back, rope drop. If you're going to Fantasyland, rope drop Peter Pan or Winnie the Pooh, one of those, because their lines get long. Right after the people get off Seven Dwarfs, they go to those two. Mm-hmm. So get in those. Tron does not open for early entry. So what you're going to have to do is wait in line for a really long time for Tron. Now, you will be waiting in line when the park's not open, which is the reason you rope drop, is so you're not wasting your park time. So it's still worth it if Tron is a big draw for you. So,
If you don't want to do Tron and you don't want to do Fantasyland, Space Mountain is a good option. Whether you're at the front or towards the back, it's still probably a good option to go to Space Mountain.
because a lot of people don't go there, they go straight to Tron. So when you line up at Tomorrowland, if you're going to Tron, you'll probably want to be from the middle to the left, and if you're going to Space Mountain, be from the middle to the right, because that's how the line kind of goes.
They split once you get to Space Mountain.
Right.
And then if you're at Fantasyland, you want to line up at the very left side of the rope. The cast members there will walk you to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and that is where they start. Is right on the left. Those people follow directly behind the cast member. And another little tip that we've shared before, but if you are right there and you are really interacting with the cast members, and if you're dressed up, they might pull you out to be the family of the day, and then you get to ride it all by yourself,
First.
which is really fun.
And another thing, if you're clear over to the left and you're right by the cafe, you get a little air conditioning coming out of the cafe, and so it's not so hot, because we always go in the hot times.
We go in the summer.
So those are
Okay.
our tips for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
So if you are not going to be there for early entry, our recommendations are, there's not a lot of really good options. Space Mountain is a pretty good option because by the time you are let in, most of the early entry people will be done doing Space Mountain.
Right.
A lot of people are going to be lined up at Tron, and it doesn't open until the park does, so I don't recommend doing Tron if you don't have early entry.
You'll be waiting a long time.
Yes. My other recommendation would be going over to Adventureland and Frontierland and doing Jungle Cruise or Pirates. Big Thunder when it's open, but this year it's not.
Right.
Haunted Mansion is a good option too. So that's what we recommend if you don't have early entry. You can also go in, you can still get in the park as early as everybody else, and you can spend some time on Main Street. You could go get your coffee and donuts, or you could take pictures in front of the castle.
Yeah, when we took pictures in front of the castle, we were there for like 20 minutes and hardly anyone was over there. So it was very nice.
So yeah, those are our tips for both early entry and without, and
Have fun at the parks.